foreseen the coming. Our empires fall, and mogul desponds. They have his soul, who has his bonds. It's like writing on the wall. Time of winter's end, the coming of spring, the shifting portends, the changing the seasons, their assault upon reason. It is the time of winter's end. The world we know is upside down, spinning backwards, turning round. Gravity pushes us off the ground, off the ground. I feel the winds begin to change. It's not me, but the world that's deranged. My bones feel the storm breaks us apart and transforms. I feel the winds begin to change. The world we know is upside down, spinning backwards, turning round. Gravity pushes us off the ground, off the ground. Hello. So this is my song entitled Upside Down, which is a political statement about the current world and state of affairs. I wrote it late in 2020, reflecting on what was going on, and has a lot of quotes and metaphors and references to a variety of different pieces of literature, which I often do in my songwriting. The first verse is, it's like the writing on the wall, which is, it's taken from the Bible originally, but then in, what was it, 1720, Jonathan Swift used it in one of his works, and his line was what was his line? A baited banker thus desponds, from his own hand foresees the fall. They have his soul who has his bonds, 'tis like the writing on the wall. I mixed it up a little bit there and made it my own. It's like the writing on the wall, foreseen the coming of our empire's fall. Mad mogul desponds, they have his soul who has his bonds. It's like the writing on the wall. Mogul is the Secret Service code word for the current president. So that line is mad mogul desponds, they have his soul who has his bonds, which I thought was deep and referring to what could really be going on behind the scenes if we only knew. The second verse I got into the spring. There's no direct literary reference to this section, but I do reference political change and the coming of democracy. The first time that spring was referenced, hold on a second. Most people know the Arab Spring, and it's 18 goes back to 1848, and there have been other springs of democracy. The springtime of nations was the original reference, which I didn't use that line or anything, but I really wanted this to be not just a negative song, but about how democracy has its own power, and that's the strength behind our national unity, and how, in this case, it's the verse itself is, it is the time of winter's end, the coming of spring, the shift it portends, the changing of the seasons, their assault upon reason. It is the time of winter's end. So here we go, the changing of the seasons from this dark winter time to the spring of a real democracy, which we supposedly have here. The third verse, I get into the winds of change, which, that's sort of an obvious quote and reference. But let me, I'll just read the verse here. It's, I feel the winds begin to change. It's not me, but the world that's deranged. My bones feel the storm, breaks us apart and transforms. I feel the winds begin to change. It's not me, but the world that's deranged is a quote from a Japanese science fiction author, Haruki Murakami, his book IQ 84. Which I thought that was a great line. And then my bones feel the storm, breaks us apart and transforms. That's a little bit of a reference to the fantasy author Brandon Sanderson, who's some of his characters have to go through this storm, and they're literally physically transformed by their experience of going through this storm. And I think this is also a very telling point in our time, how we're going through this very dark, stormy moment in time, and how it can transform us as individuals and transform us as a collection, as a nation, yes, but as a collection of individuals as well. So, the world we know is upside down, spinning backwards, turning around, gravity pushing us off the ground. So yeah, yeah, things are a little backwards right now, but this is supposed to be an optimistic song. You know, things are backwards now, but things are going to get better as we look to the future, as we look to the changing of the seasons, to the coming of spring. And that's what this is all about. I have begun recording this. I have a great upright bassist from New York named Jenny playing upright bass on this, and Marty Ilitalo on drums. Just a stunning drum part by Marty for this song. And then I've been in talks with a couple of lead guitarists who I'll have to stay quiet on for the moment until I finalize that. But yeah, that's my tune, Upside Down. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.